Hello, and welcome to today's Parent Chat. We are going to be talking about ways to help your children manage big feelings. My name is Rihanna Ridman. I am an infant and early childhood mental health consultant at Children's Resource Center in Bowling Green, Ohio. The strategy that we're going to be talking about today is called DNA process. And DNA process stands for describe, name, and acknowledge. And this is an evidence-based strategy to increase self-regulation and decrease behavior concerns in children. So as this picture explains, feelings are the bridge between problems and solutions. So the DNA process, this strategy is going to help us work with children so that they can move past that problem, acknowledge those feelings, and then they can get to a place where they're able to problem solve. They're able to come up with a solution. And again, this strategy is going to increase self-regulation, which is a child's ability to express emotions and manage their behavior in healthy ways. And self-regulation is a skill that we really want to build up because it increases protective factors for resilience. And resilience is your child's ability to bounce back from any kind of adversity or change, any kind of negative event. We want them to be able to kind of push through it, move through it, and take it in stride. When they are resilient, they're able to handle life's difficulties. So this picture here shows this girl. She looks like she has some really great self-regulation skills. It looks like she is in maybe her safe place or calm down corner, calm down spot. And it looks like she is choosing to take a deep breath to help manage her feelings. Maybe she was feeling sad, or maybe she was feeling angry. She was able to recognize that feeling and then choose a positive way to express that feeling. So the DNA process is what's going to, again, increase that self-regulation skills for children. And one thing to remember is that emotions are not good or bad. Feelings just are. They're not good or bad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be angry. When we have feelings, we want to be able to just recognize them and be aware of them. That way we can, work through that feeling in order to come up with something positive to help us manage that feeling. So we have to be able to acknowledge and be aware of our feelings in order to come up with a solution to our problem. So when should you use the DNA process? This strategy is going to address the inner state of the child first and then the behavior second. So again, when we talk about that bridge from problems to solutions and feelings that are in the middle, that kind of is also talking about this brain state model. So the survival state is in your brainstem. It's in the back of your brain. And when children are in survival state, they're really looking for safety. They want to know that they're safe. And then during survival state, this could look like children maybe having a tantrum, kind of throwing themselves on the floor, crying, screaming. Maybe they are hiding, or maybe they're fighting with a friend or a sibling. So in this survival state, they are not able to problem solve, okay? So they're way back down here in their brainstem. What we want to do is help them move up from their brainstem and go to that emotional state, which is that feelings. That's the bridge between problem and solution. And so then we want to get them up to this executive state in their brain, which is in the front part of their brain where they're able to problem solve. So again, we do have to acknowledge those feelings in the emotional state, and we want to provide that connection for children so that they know that they're loved and they are safe because they are loved and they do have this connection with us. And then once we get up here to this executive state up in the front of their brain, that's really where the learning happens. That's when they're able to problem solve. That's where they're able to, build their skills and really learn something new. So this DNA process is what's going to help us to move through those states to get up to the front where the children are able to problem solve for themselves and they're able to come up with something, a solution to their problem. So how do you implement DNA process? Again, DNA process stands for describe, name, and acknowledge. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So the first step is to describe. So when we're describing for children, we really are just telling them what we're observing, what we see. So your eyes went like this. Maybe they close their eyes, or maybe they have tears. I see that you're crying. Your mouth went like this in a frown. Or maybe your hands went like this and you kind of clenched your hands up. Your eyebrows went like this. So all we're doing is we're just describing what we're seeing. After we describe what they look like, what we're observing on their face or their body language, then we're going to stop and take a deep breath. That's what this picture here is. This is a little star, and this is a, this is a star that will help us to remember to stop, take a deep breath, and relax. And so what we're going to do when children are in their safety state, it's important for us to help them breathe to move up to their emotional state. So again, when they're back in their brainstem, if we're just talking and we're asking them what they can do to solve their problem, they're not up here yet. They're not able to problem solve. They're not able to come up with a solution. So when we're just talking to them, it's really not going to help them. What's going to help them is deep breathing with them. So we're going to help move them from their safety state to their emotional state by breathing with them. We're going to co-regulate. So we're going to stop, take a deep breath, and relax. And so now that we've co-regulated with them, it might take a few times. We might need to breathe with them more than once. So, a few times we can rock back and forth, providing that rhythm and repetition will help to calm as well. So once we've co-regulated and we've kind of downloaded our calm to them, then we're able to name that feeling. So now they're in their emotional state in their brain, again in the middle. So we can name that feeling. You seem sad. You seem angry. This is after we've described to them that maybe their eyebrows went like this. I saw your eyebrows go like this, and I saw your fists clench up. You seem angry. So now we've named that feeling for them. They're able to recognize that emotion. And what we want to do is acknowledge that feeling. So like I said before, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel nervous. We're allowed to have big feelings, but we want to be able to express them in positive ways. So really acknowledging, we're just going to validate those feelings for them. And by doing so, we're showing them empathy. And children, they're learning empathy from us teaching it to them. So by us showing them empathy and acknowledging their feelings, validating their feelings, they're able to learn that skill and then have empathy for other children or other people, adults. So again, we want to acknowledge, you wanted to be the first in line, or you were hoping we would stay outside longer to play, or you wanted that truck, but your friend was playing with it. So we're just acknowledging what that positive intent behind that behavior was. So again, maybe if we see that a child is having a tantrum and they're upset, we want to recognize and acknowledge what their positive intent was. So if they're crying on the floor and it's because, maybe they wanted to stay outside for longer, they weren't ready to come in. So all we're going to do is just acknowledge that, it's really hard when we have to come inside. You were hoping you would get to play longer. I know, I really like it when we play outside too. And then we can talk about, we're going to come back outside in the afternoon. We'll have a chance to do that later. So after we've acknowledged all those feelings, we've moved from the safety state up to emotional state. And after we acknowledge those feelings, again, we've provided that connection, we've provided empathy for them. Now they're going to be able to come up here to the front part of their brain, that executive state, so that they're able to problem solve. So again, we can ask them or prompt them. We can say, what would you like to play with when we go inside? Or, if the friend had the truck to play with and they wanted to play with the truck, maybe we can ask them or prompt them to play with a different toy. So now they're able to come up with a solution to whatever that problem is. So I just have a few pictures on here to kind of practice. So we can look at this picture here. This first picture, this little girl, you know, her eyes are closed. Your eyes went like this. And I'm just going to observe and show the same thing. I see that your eyes went like this. And, you know, maybe I see that you're screaming or you're yelling. Now I'm going to stop and take a deep breath. I'm going to download that calm. I'm going to co-regulate with her. And then maybe when she's stopped crying, I'm going to, you know, have that eye contact and look at her, and I'm going to name that feeling. I'm going to say, you know, it looks like you are sad, or it looks like you're angry. And then I'm going to acknowledge those feelings. Yeah, I understand you wanted to play with the blocks instead of the Barbies, but it looks like there's another friend already playing in blocks. You know, you were hoping to get a chance to play with blocks today. So we're just acknowledging those feelings. We're just going to give that empathy to them, so that way they feel that connection. They understand that it's okay to have those feelings. And then now, after they've moved from their safety state to the emotional state where we provide that connection, now they're going to be up here, up in that executive state where they're able to, you know, problem solve. They're able to make a different choice. So now we can offer a new choice. We can prompt them. We can, you know, give them a direction of a different toy to play with or something else to do. So this second picture we can practice, you know, your arms went like this. You know, your eyebrows went like this. We're going to stop and take a deep breath. I see that your arms went like this. Let's take a deep breath and we can calm down together. Now, you know, you seem angry or you seem frustrated. Yeah, it's really hard when we want to play with the puzzle piece. You were hoping that you would get to play with that piece that your friend has now. And now that we're up in executive state, we can say, you know, would you like to play with a green puzzle piece or a blue puzzle piece? And then now they can, you know, problem solve that. And then lastly, we have this little girl. You know, I see your hands are crossed or your arms are crossed and your face is down in your arms. Let's take a deep breath and we can relax. We're going to stop. So now that we've taken a deep breath, I can, you know, name that feeling for her. Maybe you're feeling sad, or maybe you're feeling left out, or, you know, maybe you're feeling disappointed. And I'm just going to acknowledge, yeah, it's really hard when we feel left out, and you were hoping that you would get a chance to play with your friends right now too. So now we're up in that executive state. Now we can ask or prompt and give a choice. Would you like to go down the slide while we wait for your friend? Or, you know, offer something different that maybe they would be interested in. So that is the DNA process: describe, name, and acknowledge. And again, this is a strategy that will help increase self-regulation. It will help increase your child's ability to have empathy for others, because we are providing that for them. We're able to show empathy to them so that they're able to use that skill with others. I do have a few resources on here. The first is my email address, riannarr@crcwoodcounty.org. Feel free to email me. I can send you some resources that we shared in the PowerPoint today. These are conscious discipline breathing strategies. So again, the STAR, stop, take a deep breath, and relax. This drain and balloon and pretzel, these also are different kind of silly ways that help children learn how to take those deep breaths, help increase that self-regulation. You can go to consciousdiscipline.com. They have a lot of resources for increasing self-regulation. This resource here is printable emotion cards, so just different feeling faces. So again, to help increase that self-regulation, we can provide a visual and show children what different feelings look like, so that way they're able to recognize them when they're feeling that. And then lastly, this is our YouTube channel. So CRC, Children's Resource Center, we have a YouTube channel that you can go to watch our previously recorded videos. And there are parent chats that are recorded on there, and there's also short little strategy videos that are going to be just a specific strategy, maybe like prompting or modeling, and you can go on there and watch those videos as well. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you next time, Thursdays at 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. Thanks.